time and how it changed the way we learned or the way we communicate and learn. We also share a bit about the history, the rise of computers, and the internet that connects us to all today. So just relax and enjoy as we bring the story of the information age to life through our discussion.
We live in a world that is rapidly being transformed by technology. Today, we're going to explore a topic that has profoundly impacted our daily lives, the information age. We will look at how the speed of information flow from early writing systems to modern microprocessor has shaped our society, culture, and our existence. Crucially, we will also discuss the importance of being critical consumers of information in this saturated digital world.
So, from the year 3000 BC, Sumerian writing system used pictograph to represent words, and 2900 BC, beginnings of Egyptians hieroglyphic writing, and 1300 BC, tortoise shell and oracle bone writing were used. In 500 BC, Chinese small seal writing was developed. In 100 AD, book parchment codex. In 1455, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press using movable metal type. In 1755, Samuel Johnson Dictionary standardized English spelling. In 1802, the Library of Congress was established. In 1824, that is the Research Persistence of Vision published. In 1830s, the first visible design for a digital computer, which is Augusta Lady Byron, writes the world's first computer program. In 1837, which is the invention of the telegraph in Great Britain and the United States. In 1861, that is the motion pictures was projected onto screen. In 1876, that is a Dewey Decimal System was introduced. In 1877, is for Edward Muybridge demonstrated high-speed photography. In 1899, that is the first magnetic recorders was released. In 1902, that is motion pictures special effects were used. In 1906, that is Lee Forest invented the electronic amplifier or amplifying tube. And lastly, which is 1923, that is for television camera tube was invented by JACKIELYN.
1926, the first practical sound movie. 1939, regularly scheduled television broadcasting began in the U.S. 1940s is the beginning of science information as a discipline. 1945, Vannevar Bush pursued the invention of the hypertext. 1946, ENIAC computer was developed. 1948, birth of field of information proposed by Claude E. Shannon. 1957, planar transition was developed by John Horney. 1958, first circuit integrated. 1960s is Library of Congress developed by LCMARC, machine readable code. 1969, UNIX operating system was developed which could handle multitasking. 1971, Intel introduced the first microprocessor chip. 1972, optical laser disc was developed by Philips and MCA. 1974, MCA and Philips agreed on a standard video disc encoding format. 1975, Altair microcomputer kit was released, first personal computer for the public. 1977, Radio Shack introduced the first complete personal computer. Mid-1980s, artificial intelligence was separated from information science. 1987, HyperCard was developed by Bill Atkinson, receipt box metaphor. 1991, 450 complete works of literature on one CD-ROM was released. January 1997, RCA encryption and network security software Internet security code cracked for a 48-bit number.
Number 1. When did people starting having difficulty managing too much information? So people began to struggle with managing information in the 1960s and 1970s. During this time, information started to grow so quickly that it became hard to collect, organize, and control. Number 2. What does Richard Wurman mean by information anxiety? So, Richard Wurman used the term information anxiety in the 1980s to describe the stress and confusion people feel when they are overwhelmed by too much information that they can't easily understand or process. Number 3. How is information viewed in the present generation? So, in today's generation, information is seen as a valuable but common commodity. It is produced and shared everywhere, making it easy to access, but also causing people to feel overloaded with too much data.
In his article, Truth of the Information Age, Robert Harris detailed some facts on the information age. To help us understand these better, I'm going to give some contextualized examples for all 12 principles on the information age. First, information must compete. There is a need for information to stand out and be recognized in the increasing clutter. For example, just like in a toy store with hundreds of toys, only the most colorful and fun-looking toys catches your attention, right? Second, newer is equated with truer. We forgot the truth that any fact or volume can endure. For instance, even though a new game comes out every year, the rules of chess have stayed the same for hundreds of years. Third, selection is a viewpoint. Choose multiple sources for your information if you want to receive a more balanced view of reality. Take this scenario. If you want to know about a basketball match, watching highlights from different channels gives a clearer picture than just watching one channel. Makes sense, right? Fourth, the media sells what the culture buys. In other words, information is driven by cultural priorities. Consider this example. If everyone loves superhero movies, TV and newspapers will show more stories about superheroes. Fifth, the early word gets the perm. Perm is a short word for permanent or permanence. The first media channel to expose an issue often defines the context, terms, and attitudes surrounding it. Imagine, two kids hear that someone found a lost puppy. If the first kid tells everyone that the puppy is cute, most classmates will remember that the puppy is cute, even if another kid later says that it was a little bit scary. Sixth, you are what you eat, and so is your brain. Do not draw conclusions unless all ideas and information are presented to you. For instance, don't say a movie's bad just because one friend didn't like it.
Watch us yourself first. 7. Anything in great demand will be counterfeit. The demand for incredible knowledge, scandals, and secrets is ever present. Hence, many events are fabricated by tabloids, publicists, or other agents of information fraud. Let's say, fake stories about celebrities often appear online because lots of people want to read gossip. 8. Ideas are seen as controversial. It is almost certainly impossible to make any assertion that will not find some supporters and some detractors. For example, some kids like pineapples on their pizza, and some kids hate it. No matter what, someone will disagree. 9. And that information walks ever on. Rumors, lies, disinformation, and gossip never truly die down. They persist and continue to circulate. For instance, even if a rumor about a classmate turns out to be false, some students still talk about it weeks later. 10. Media presence creates the story. People behave much differently from the way they would if being filmed when the media are present, especially film use or television media. For example, kids may act extra funny in front of the camera for a school video, even if they don't usually act that way. 11. The medium selects the message. Television is mainly pictorial, partially oral, and slightly contextual. So visual stories are emphasized: fires, chases, and disasters. For instance, on TV, you often see exciting clips of car chases or fires because it looks dramatic, rather than someone reading a quiet story. 12. The whole truth is a pursuit. The information that reaches us usually selected, verbally charged, filtered, slandered, and sometimes fabricated. What is neglected is often even more important than what is included. For example, if the news shows only the winners of a school contest, you don't see all students who worked hard but didn't win, which is also very important.
A computer is an electronic device that stores, processes, and outputs data according to a set of instructions called a program. It is one of the most significant inventions of the information age, allowing people to perform complex tasks, store information, and communicate efficiently. Computers operate using input, processing, storage, and output functions. So now let's talk about the types of computers. First, personal computer, also known as PC. It is a single-user device used for general tasks like word processing, internet browsing, and gaming. It is originally known as microcomputer because of its small size compared to older business machines. Second, we have the desktop computer. It is a non-portable PC meant to stay in one place, usually more powerful and upgradable than laptops. A workstation is a high-performance desktop used for tasks like 3D design or programming. Third, we have the laptop. It is a portable computer that combines the components of a desktop in one compact battery-powered unit. It is also called as notebooks.
So number 4, personal digital assistants or PDAs. These are small handheld battery-powered computers that rely on a touch screen or inputs instead of a keyboard. Number 5, server. A powerful computer designed to provide services like hosting websites, storing files, or managing emails to other computers over a network. Number 6, mainframes. Very large, expensive computer systems, often filling an entire room used by big organizations to process millions of transactions daily. The term is largely replaced by enterprise server. Number 7, wearable computers. computing devices built directly into clothing, watches, or other small everyday objects, performing basic functions like email or scheduling.
So now we're going to talk about the World Wide Web. It began with Claude E. Shannon, a mathematician and also known as the father of information theory. He introduced the idea that information could be represented using binary codes, ones and zeros, which also became the foundation of all digital communication. During the 1970s, the U.S. Department of Defense introduced or created the first version of the internet called the ARPANET. This allows computer to share information even during emergency or attacks. At first, it was mainly used by scientists and researchers for data exchange, and it remained under government control until the 1984. But over time, technological innovations such as fiber optic cables and faster microprocessors made internet connections quicker and more reliable. This opened the door for more users and new forms of online activity. But in the 1998, Larry Page and Sergey Brin introduced Google. This Google really completely transformed how people accessed, search, and organize information online. Today, the internet has become an essential tool for communication, education, business, and entertainment, which shape the way people live and interact in the modern world.
The rise of the internet introduced new forms of communication such as email, chat rooms, and online communities, changing how people interacted. It also gave birth to the tech giants and influential figures like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Mark Zuckerberg, marking the full emergence of the information age. However, the internet also created challenges like technological divide between rich and poor, cyberbullying, online crimes, and exposure to harmful content. While it connects millions, it also requires users to be cautious and responsible in its use.
So I am Sheila B. Secretaria. So computers play a very important role in research and science, especially in the field of bioinformatics. So bioinformatics is the use of computers and technology to store, kanang, organize, and study biological information such as the sequences of kanang proteins like DNA and RNA. So proteins serves as the building block of living things, while nucleic acid carry genetic information. So before computers were used, scientists find it difficult to keep track of all the genetic information from different organisms because it was too much for the human brain to remember or organize. But with the help of computers, they can now store a large amount of data, analyze it quickly, and find patterns or connections so that are important in research and discovery. For example, back in 1986, scientists created a database called SwissPro. It stores about 70,000 protein sequences from more than 5,000 organisms. It allows researchers from all over the world to share and study data easily. So, because of computer and internet, these database are constantly updated and available to all scientists anywhere. So, overall, computers make scientific research faster, more accurate, and more efficient.
So, computers and software programs are widely used in studying genes and proteins. Scientists use them to discover what proteins do, understand how they are built, and identify important parts in our DNA. These tools also help in finding possible medicines and making the drug development much more faster and effective. Some examples of these tools are: number one, we have BLAST, which compares DNA or protein sequences. Number two, we have Annotator, which helps analyze genomes. And number three, we have Gene Finder, which finds useful coding regions in our DNA. Because of these advanced tools, scientists were able to take on one of the biggest projects in biology, which was called the Human Genome Project. This began in 1988, which aims to record and understand all human DNA information. So the amount of data that was collected in this research was so large that reading it would take 26 years without stopping. Since our DNAs, or every person's DNA, differs by about 3 million parts, the database created from this project contained an enormous numbers of entries. So to manage the huge amount of data, scientists needed better database systems and software to help them organize and analyze these data. So the project was finally completed on June 26, 2000, after more than 500 million trillion calculations, marking it as one of the most greatest accomplishments in computation biology.
So these are the examples of useful and reliable web sources. Number one is AFA newsletter, or Alzheimer's Foundation of America newsletter. So it is a publication from Alzheimer's Foundation of America that shares updates on research, treatments, caregiving tips, and inspiring stories related to Alzheimer's disease. The second one is from American Memory, the Library of Congress Historical Digital Collection. So it is also provides free access to millions of historical documents, photographs, maps, recordings, and more, chronicling the American experience. Next is the bartleby.com Great Books Online. So it is a free digital library offering access to classic literature, reference works, and anthologies curated from some of the most respected collections in history. Next is the Chronicling America Search and View pages from American newspapers from 1880 to 1922. So this allows users to search and view historic American newspaper pages with a special focus on the years 1880 to 1922. The next one is from eBrary. eBrary once offered a free open access collection of ebooks on cyberbullying, including titles from major publishers and government agencies. Though eBrary has since merged into ProQuest eBook Central, some resources may still be available through affiliated platforms. Next is the drug information websites. One of these is the National Library of Medicine Plus, drugs.com, and PDR Health. So, regarding the National Library of Medicine, this is a service of the U.S. National Library of Medicine that provides comprehensive health information, including drug details, side effects, and interactions. Next is from drugs.com. This is a consumer-focused site offering extensive drug databases, pill identifiers, and interaction checkers. Last is the PDR Health, which is derived from the Physician's Desk Reference. PDR Health translates professional drug information into patient-friendly language. Next is the Global Gateways. This is a digital initiative by the Library of Congress that provides access to international cultural and historical resources through collaborative digital collection. Next one is the Google Books. This is a free online service that lets you search, preview, and read millions of books from libraries and publishers worldwide. It's one of the largest digital book repositories available. Next is from googlescholar.com. So this is a free search engine that indexes scholarly literature across many disciplines and formats. It's widely used by students, researchers, and academics to find peer-reviewed articles, theses, books, conference papers, and patents. Next is the history sites with primary documents. These are the examples from AMDocs, Aviation Project, and Internet in Modern History Sourcebook from Latin America, and the Teacher Oz's Kingdom of History. These four history sites offer rich collections of primary documents and educational resources for studying American and world history. They are ideal for students, educators, and researchers seeking original sources. Next is the Illinois Digital Archives. Illinois Digital Archives is a collaborative digital repository managed by the Illinois State Library that offers access to historical materials from libraries, museums, and historical societies across Illinois. And next is Internet Archive. Internet Archive, it is a non-profit digital library that offers free access to millions of books, websites, audio recordings, videos, software, and more, preserving the cultural and intellectual history of the Internet and beyond.
An example of currently digitized resources on the Internet Archive is the Southern Illinois University Carbondale's historical photographs and postcards of Southern Illinois, which are part of their Confluence and Crossroad collection. Carly, through its book Digitization Initiative, previously funded the digitization of materials for the Internet Archive, allowing member institutions to contribute copyrighted works and government documents to expand digital access to historical materials. Example of Internet-based public libraries include Internet Public Library, which is now known as IPL2 and hosted by Drexel University, and Internet Archive, which provide a vast collection of digitized content. Other examples include platforms like Project Gutenberg for Books and Open Library, which offers access to millions of free books. The Internet Public Library, which offers reference services and online documents. The Internet Archive, providing a vast collection of digital materials like ebook and websites. And Project Gutenberg, which focuses on free ebooks. Examples of librarian-curated Internet indices, also known as subject guides or directories, include the Librarian's Internet Index, which organizes quality web resources by subject, and other tools like Google, Scholar, and Octopus, which are specialized databases for finding scholarly information. Example of digital library is the Internet Archive and the Project Gutenberg for public access, the National Digital Library of India, and the Digital Public Library in America for the national collection, and institutional resources like the Library of Congress Digital Collection and Google Books. University of Texas at Austin Perry Castaneda Library Map Collections, or PCLMC, offers a comprehensive collection of over 250,000 maps, including historical and thematic maps, with a significant portion of the collection digitized and available online. The online catalog features CIA reference and thematic maps, Army Map Services or AMS, topographic maps, historical maps, and even historical campus map of the university itself. The PCLMC website is the central resource of the accessing this map. Nation Master is a website that provides country statistics for comparative analysis, allowing users to find and compare data on health, crime, education, and other categories for different countries. For example, you can use Nation Master to compare the life expectancy or suicide rates between Japan and the United States, which are examples of countries used in their data comparisons. SHMO provides educational content on subjects including literature, US history, and poetry developed by writers who are PhD students and master's students from prestigious universities like Stanford, UC Berkeley, and Harvard. The digital learning platform aims to make complex subjects accessible through conversational, humorous, and contextually rich content, drawing on bibliographies, and pop culture to demystify topics for students. The Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, or AHRQ, provides nursing-related resources for quality improvement, evidence-based practice, and patient safety, such as National Database of Nursing Quality Indicators, or NDNQI, for tracking hospital quality metrics and promoting data-driven improvements. Project Gutenberg is the eldest digital library, offering a collection of over 75,000 free ebooks, primarily in the U.S. public domain. Funded by Michael S. Hart in 1971, it is a volunteer-driven project dedicated to digitizing and distributing literary works to encourage the creation and distribution of ebooks. The collection includes a wide range of literature in formats like EPUB, and Kindle, with many works also available in plain text. StateMaster is an online statistical database and visualization tool that provides a wealth of data on U.S. state, compiled from primary resources like the U.S. Census Bureau, the FBI, and the National Center for Educational Statistics. It goes beyond simply presenting numbers by offering various visualization technologies, including maps, graphs, charts, and scatter plots to help users research and compare data across states. To access valuable academic resources, you should utilize a university library, online and physical virtual references services, and explore the Library of Congress website, which offers selected web resources. Visit your library to find out how to use virtual references services, as librarians can provide personalized assistance and access to a rich collection of academic resources.
So, the information age is the modern period when information is easily accessed and shared through computers and the internet. It began in the late 20th century, marked by rapid advances in technology that changed communication, business, education, and daily life. Computers became essential tools that stores and processes data efficiently. They come in various types such as personal computers, desktops, laptops, PDAs, servers, and mainframes, and wearables. The internet connects millions of computer worldwide, allowing instant communication and information exchange. It gave rise to tools like emails, search engines, and social media, but also caused issues like digital divide and cybercrimes. Computer also support science and research, especially in bioinformatics, where they help store and analyze large amounts of biological data like DNA and protein sequences. Overall, the information age has made life faster and more convenient, but also challenges people to use technology responsibly and manage information wisely.